Hello everyone, and welcome to the start of O Week 2019. My name is Sana, and I am a recent graduate and current student who sat exactly where you guys are right now, almost 5 years ago. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Kaurna people, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plains and the land on which the University of Adelaide campuses, North Terrace, Waite and Roseworthy are all built. Without any delay, I'd like to invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President Academic, Pascal Quester, to conduct the official welcome.
Thank you, Sana. Good morning, everyone. As I look at you today, I'm just so excited both for you and with you on this next chapter. We're so fortunate to welcome you to this wonderful venue, the Bonython Hall. It was built by a donor to the university, and they were very clear that there would be no frivolous use of this place, which is why the floor is slightly sloped so that nobody can dance here. But of course, we've decided to be the venue for the Fringe. So not only are people dancing, they're doing all kinds of weird things. And if you have booked any tickets, you'll probably be seeing some of the events taking place in this room. And we think the donors probably would be reasonably happy about that. Because we feel that the university is actually part of a whole experience, new things, daring things, controversial things, artistic things, new things. That's what we're all about. And from now on, you're part of the journey. This university has been where it is for 144 years, and every year we have the great privilege of welcoming a new cohort of students. And this year we are innovating. With our new Vice-Chancellor, we decided that we would actually create classes for each year. You are the first official class of 19, and forevermore, you will be the class of 19. Some of you got the t-shirt already. If you haven't got the t-shirt, you should pick it up sometime today. No matter whether you finish your degree in 3 years, whether you finish in 3 years and do another degree after that, or go part-time and perhaps finish in 4 years, you're all going to finish. We agree with that. The reality is you will be forevermore class of 19, and we are very, very happy to welcome you today. Now, this is going to be, the beginning of the rest of your life, we like to think of it. It is going to be different. Of course, it's going to be different. And in fact, through your life, you will experience a lot of changes that are going to be just as momentous as the change that you're going to undertake with your studies today. You come from probably a school that is much smaller than this place. We've got 27,000 students, about 3,000 staff. And yet, surprisingly, you'll actually have a lot of small group experiences. You will be in smaller tutorials. You'll be working on projects with a few people. You will get very close to some of your staff. Some of them, I swear, will change your life. They will actually make you feel a passion for a topic that you had absolutely no idea anybody could be passionate about. And you've got to be open for that opportunity, and you've got to be welcoming the fact that you're probably going to like things in the next 3 years that you either didn't like before or probably didn't think you would like, especially if your siblings already study it. You probably will have a discovery that we intend to be partner with you on making. Now, of course, universities should, and this one certainly will, challenge your thinking as well as broaden your horizon. Be prepared to meet a lot of people who don't agree with you, who don't think like you. In fact, 30% of our students come from overseas, and in case you haven't noticed, this accent is not South Australian. 50% of our staff were born overseas. About 8% of our staff have dual nationalities, which happily precludes them from a political career. We actually favor the fact that we are a global community. By becoming a member of the University of Adelaide, you too become part of that cohort of global citizens that will actually inhabit the future. And it's a good place to be, and it's a good place to start, making friends with people who come from other cultures, think differently, and actually treasure the fact that you try to understand why it is that they think so differently from you, and why it is that they think it is so strange that anyone could think like you do. That is the joy of being at a university. Now, I'm going to make a plug very early on for the fact that you should consider, as part of your degree, the opportunity to do things like study abroad, for instance. I come from Europe, where really it's the tradition now that every student will go overseas for at least one semester in their studies. You will tell me, and you'll be right, that when you are in Europe, going to another country is a 1-hour train ride. Fair enough. We're a bit further from other countries. And yet, the benefit is the same. So whether you choose to do study abroad for a couple of weeks of a study tour, whether you choose to go away for one semester, or whether you really get a taste for it and go for a full year out of your degree, as you are entitled to do, and as we will allow you to get credit for, just think about it. And think about it now, because it's probably in second year that you need to kind of take the plunge. We will help you, we will provide you with scholarship and grants, we will find a good partner where you can actually go and spend 6 months in a safe environment, making new friends. But think about it now. The other thing that you should think about is whether or not you will actually want to explore the world of work as a student. Do you want to have a part-time job, or do you want to actually have a work-integrated learning experience? Do you want to undertake an internship? As of a couple of weeks ago, we welcomed 5 daring engineer students who actually took the plunge to go to Brittany. In case you haven't heard, we'll be building some submarine in South Australia, and we'll be building them with French companies. Well, guess what? We've actually been sending our students to the engineering schools that those companies tend to kind of draw their students from. So those students will be entirely prepared for the work that is coming their way. It's very important that you think about placements as opposed to a part-time job. You will pick up different skills, but again, we will help you get credit, identify, and then work through the particular placement or work experience that you want to do. And then, of course, there's all the fun bits, right? So the social clubs, the sports club, the various faculty clubs, the volunteering opportunities, all of this is for you to take the initiative to experience. You're no longer at school. Nobody's going to be standing behind you and saying, it would be rather good if you did a bit of exercise as well as a bit of study. No. You make that decision, and you suffer the consequences. If you do too much sport and not enough study, guess what? Your grades will suffer. If you do too much study and not enough sport, you'll cope with stress and possible overweight and whatever it is that comes with it. Just be the master of your own destiny. This is what the university will equip you to be. And we want you to realize quite early on that we're always here to help, always available, always. But at the end of the day, the decisions are yours. We will always treat you like responsible adults that you are or are trying to be. Because we also understand that sometimes you won't be, but that's okay too. So you will actually be in an environment where you will make friends for life. Our Vice-Chancellor likes to make the jokes that he met his wife on campus, his brothers met their wives on campus, his sisters met their husband. We're not a dating agency, forget about that. But you will actually make a lot of friends and meet a lot of people, more people perhaps than you've had the opportunity to do before, because there'll be people coming from all walks of life. Welcome that, be open to that, be prepared for that. Those friendships really do last you a lifetime. And you've got to remember that the social side is actually a very important one. Now, as I stand in front of you, I was never in your shoe. I was never a student at the University of Adelaide. I've got degrees from 3 institutions from 3 different countries. I did my undergrad in France, a master's in the States, and a PhD in New Zealand. But when I arrived in the States, it was at Ohio State, which has a campus of about 70,000 students in a city of about 4 million people. And the first activity was to meet the campus cops, who would tell us that if you're attacked on campus, you've got to stick your key in the eye. We don't think it's a very friendly way to start, but having said that, we're also very aware that it is important for you to feel safe. So just be aware as you meet people, as you make friends, that this is also about creating a community where you can rely on each other, protect each other, be aware of what's happening to others. And it is your responsibility, if you see somebody being uncomfortable because of someone's behavior, if you see somebody bullying someone, you've got to step up. And you've got to say, no, this is my university, I'm a member of this university, I won't put up with that. We want to be, collectively, a safe and happy place where people can come together, study, have fun, and grow up together. So it is a partnership, and like all partnership, you will get as much as you invest. So if you just come in between jobs and you come and spend a couple of hours and then you go away again and you don't talk to anyone, well, you'll have a university experience that's pretty transactional. It's your choice. It's up to you. But if you invest, in the friendships, in the clubs, in the activities, and also, importantly, in your studies, you will get returns many, many folds over what you have invested. For this week, enjoy the discovery, enjoy the new people, talk to someone you don't know, join a club, pick up a new sport. I've got a daughter who's starting university and she wants to find the best hockey team. And I said, well, what about trying something else? You've been doing hockey for 10 years, do something else. Mom, that's what you get. Do what it is that actually is going to be fitting for you. And yes, your parents will have their opinion, and that's okay. Listen to their opinion respectfully, and then do exactly what you want to do, because at the end, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's what my daughter is going to do for sure. Enjoy the free food and the gift on campus, and of course, enjoy the opportunity this year for the first time to also enjoy the Fringe and a lot of new things that we put in place. If you go to the Napier building, you'll see that there is a mural being painted. Finn Dack is the artist. I've been talking to him for the last couple of weeks. We've decided on the design, and it just happened that he could actually paint it on the Napier wall during orientation week, which I think is fabulous. I think if you want to be back in Bonnython just to get a feel for what it will be like when you graduate, because you will graduate here in this room, and yes, I'll be here again. When you graduate, it'll be a serious and solemn occasion. If you come next week for Barbu, which is this kind of weird Canadian circus act of people who are half naked but wearing a big beard, then that'll be a different view of the Bonnython Hall. And you know what? I think it's just fine. Welcome, everyone. Enjoy your studies.
Thank you, Pascal. As a student myself, I have to agree with a lot of what you've touched on, and can only hope that all of you choose to take up the many opportunities that will be available to you throughout your studies at the university. Now, I know Pascal spoke about this a lot, but you've obviously noticed that the North Terrace campus looks really different to what it normally looks like, and that is because of our partners, the Royal Croquet Club Fringe. So the campus will be looking extra exciting and inviting until about mid-March when they do leave, so take the opportunity to watch a couple shows, see what's on offer outside. Now to the fun part. So information about competition, prizes that you could win, and also all of the free things that are available to you. So firstly, you all have, or at least should have, received a student guide, so something that looks like this. Don't stress if you don't have a physical copy, they're available online, but if you do like a physical copy, you can speak to any of the student volunteers that are all wearing the coloured shirts, or any of the Ask Adelaide staff who you'll be able to see outside on the lawns. So this is a really great place to start if you have any questions about uni, but again, like I said, feel free to ask any of the staff because we'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Now, I know we live in an age of social media and text messages, and conversing through email really isn't the way that things are done. But at university, you need to be checking your university email multiple times a week, if not at least once a day. So your university email is your first name dot your last name at adelaide.edu.au, but it's also your student number, which is that number that starts with A, at adelaide.edu.au. So you can easily just link it to your phone so that you're notified each time you get a new email, and it's not something you have to worry about and you need to actively check. This is the primary method of communication between the university, your tutors, your lecturers, and you. So you need to make sure that you're staying up to date. Another technology-related announcement is the University Student app, which I'm sure a lot of you would have already downloaded when you were doing your enrolment and going through the Enrol Me process. If you haven't yet done it, I would really recommend to download it soon, because you can access information about your classes, times where they are, and specifically in relation to O Week, it's the best way to keep up to date with all the latest competitions, which there are actually a few, and exciting events that will be taking place on campus. So talking about the free things that you guys can get, when you came in this morning, you would have seen that on all of your seats, there's a little phone wallet that you can stick onto the back of your phone. It can be used for your MetroCard, your student ID. I guess now that you're at uni, they're probably the two most common cards you'll be using. But you would have also received one of these shirts. These ones. And the thing about this is, I know Pascal spoke about it as well, is that it's a pretty special shirt because it recognises you as the official class of 2019. And just by wearing one, you could actually be in the running to win one of 5 $100 Visa gift cards, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. You might have also already seen information about this next competition, and you would have seen it on the back of the O Week planner, so it's a Snapchat competition here. And for that one of the major prizes, or the major prize up for grabs, is actually one of 3 iPhone XS's. And it's a really, really super easy competition to enter. So all you need to do is you need to take a photo, and you need to use the Snapchat University of Adelaide geofilter, and you need to send it to @UniofAdelaide. You need to do this 3 times during the week of orientation to go into the draw. The competition closes on the 1st of March, which is this coming Friday, so get in as quickly as you can. As well as the iPhones, there's also over 250 other prizes that you could win. These include uni starter packs, vouchers for Grind and Press Co, for the Co-op bookstore, Fitness Hub membership, and you can also win tickets to RCC fringe shows. Now, I know that may have felt like an information overload, and not to sound like a broken record, but if you do at all feel lost today, or you're a bit unsure about what is happening or where to go next, just find anyone in a coloured volunteer shirt or any of the Ask Adelaide staff, and we will always be happy to point you in the right direction. Now, we're really lucky to have 3 other speakers here with us today, who will each give their unique perspective on what university was like for them, however many years ago, when they were sitting here where you are. You'll hear from a current postgraduate student, you'll also hear from an alumnus, as well as a current undergraduate student, who each have some really inspiring things to share. So without making you wait any longer, I'd love to invite up our first speaker, who is Olivia, who will be sharing her experiences as an undergraduate student. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. There are so many of you here. It's really nice to have lots of people out and about for O Week. My name is Olivia, and I'm in my last year of uni this year. I just finished my health science degree last year, and I'm finishing off my final year of law. So I'm still an undergrad, even though I have also graduated last year. Now, firstly, I just want to recognise this combination of law and health sciences isn't really something that you would firstly think of. But I guess that's why I chose it. It's the flexibility, and that's something that I've stuck with this whole time with my degree. I've chopped and changed, and this is what I have to preach. Uni is all about what you want to do, and the flexibility is fantastic. So, firstly, I wasn't really too sure what to do when I came into uni. I wasn't sure which path to follow, but the idea of having a few different skills in different areas is appealing to me. To be fair, I'm still figuring it out though, so don't worry if you're sitting here today without really knowing where you'll end up. It's okay, because there are things like degree transfers. There's also someone in your faculty you can always talk to. I feel like I spent a lot of time talking to my health science course advisors, so they should know me pretty well by now. I went in there pretty much at the end of every year, so don't stress. It also comes down to the fact that uni life can be a way to find what you want to do. Maybe that's why I'm standing up here today, because it's simply about putting yourself out there and giving it a go. So I'll jump into a little bit about my university experience. In my first 2 years, I did a few different sports, but mostly I train and compete in orienteering and running competitions. And this is mostly outside of uni, but I still do feel a part of the university sports scene through the athletics club. And last year, I actually went to Finland for the university championships, which was fantastic. So there is an athlete service at the uni, and for those of you who might be pursuing a double life with sport and study, this is definitely the place to be. On that point, trying and finding different clubs and sports is definitely something I'd recommend, because there's something for everyone out there. I've also done a little bit of volunteering for the uni at Open Day and for some of the social media competitions, but I also volunteer my time outside of uni on orienteering committees with my club and at public events and things like that. It's just what I've enjoyed doing, and so I've pursued them. But if you keep an eye out on the student news emails, they often post things about volunteering or career opportunities. So in that regard, there are so many different things you can do at the uni and also through the uni. Mostly, I make use of the uni services here. I've been to free talks on a whole range of topics, and I seem to ask Adelaide a fair bit, and I feel quite welcome there. I've also loved doing study tours and exchange programs that were and are offered. Again, this is something that I would 110% recommend, just to give it a go. To be able to study in another country, even if it's just for 2 weeks, is so valuable and a lot of fun as well. I've also been on the public health study tour in China and a climate law mini exchange in Denmark, and I love them both. I've also made friends from around the world just through doing these overseas exchange and tours as well. So all in all, a lot of what I have to say about your uni experience is that it can be whatever you want it to be. 3 things that I would say to my past O Week self is to firstly embrace every situation, the good and the bad. It's all about that learning curve. The second thing is to ask questions. If you even have a doubt about something, there's no harm in asking. There's always someone you can talk to here. And thirdly is to have fun. Take on board the adventure of opportunities. There are so many here. So that's me. I hope you all have a great time collecting as many free pens as you can, and hopefully finding some things about uni along the way. Thank you.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Tiana Blazvic. I'm a postgraduate student studying a Masters by Research in the Ancient World. My area is religion and magic, which means I get paid by the university to study magical handbooks written roughly 2,000 years ago, which is pretty cool. What I wish to talk to you about today is making the most of your university experience, and this is drawn from my own experience when I studied an advanced diploma in event management at TAFE for 2 years. At the end of my diploma there, I realised that while I had gained some very good time management skills and a nice piece of paper, I left feeling like I'd not taken advantage of everything while I was there, including all the free services that I could have utilised as well. So when I came to university in 2014, I decided things were going to be a little bit different. I started my first year of uni with the mindset that in order to make things, different for me and really take advantage of everything and make my time here quite rewarding, that I should research into what's available to me here at the university. After a brief Google search and a chat with some of my faculty members, I found out that we have a mind-boggling amount of free and available services at this university. Some of those things are career services, peer mentors, arts library staff, student exchange services, not to mention all the free workshops and lectures, something that Olivia mentioned as well. And of course, don't forget all the faculty advice regarding your degree is always free and available as well. And that's just to name a few of the services we have here. Throughout my undergrad, I really utilised these services to their capacity, and I made them work for me and my degree. And that included communicating with the staff regularly. I was able to find volunteering positions around Adelaide in my field by going to career services, and that enabled me to find work as a tour guide at the Old Adelaide Jail. I went to the writing centre, and by getting help from the staff there, I was able to build up my writing and research skills, and eventually my grades. This helped me to transfer into the advanced arts degree, and the writing centre advice really stuck with me, and it really built up my confidence in what I could do here. And eventually I won 6 awards in my discipline during my undergrad. By going to my faculty and asking them about my study plan, I was able to find out that I could complete the arts internship course, which involved both a work placement and a really big research project. I ended up presenting my project from that course at a few undergraduate conferences on campus that my professor in my department had told me about. I won those conferences and was asked to come back as a judge and a keynote speaker last year. Those conferences also gave me some invaluable networking skills and also landed me some paid work as a research assistant in the social department here. And lastly, by being in communication with the library staff about the particular wants and needs of ancient history students, they provided us a paid subscription, which helps those students with their studies. You see, by asking questions and utilising the free services and being in communication with staff members that are here, it can open so many doors to you and make your university experience a bit more fulfilling, rather than the mundane work, study, sleep, eat, repeat routine. I also understand that sometimes asking these questions can be stressful and scary. I would not be lying to you if I said that your first year is always a little overwhelming, but again, there are these things here available to help you cope with the adjustment period as well as life on campus. We have a GP clinic here that is bulk billed for students, we have counselling services, and of course, please don't forget that there are 24-hour friendly security services who are here to help you if you ever feel unsafe on campus or would like to have an escort to your car or the bus stop. All of these things are provided to you with the fees that you pay to the university. As someone who started university at 21, which by the way is classed as a mature age student, and I still don't know how I feel about that, I already had a bit of hindsight compared to my classmates who were coming from high school. And now that they have graduated, I've heard many times from them that looking back at their university experience, they wish they had done more. They wish that they were able to utilise some of the services that I'd mentioned. I think university is not just about getting to the end of your degree and hoping to get a job out of it. It's not just about that eat, sleep, study, repeat cycle. University is also about seizing every opportunity available to you and being curious and asking as many questions as you can, because you never know where those opportunities and questions could lead you. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bailey, and I studied a Bachelor of Commerce majoring in both marketing and management, completing my studies at the end of 2017. So officially an alum now, which is a bit weird to say, but still getting used to that. These days, I work just across the road in the marketing department for TikTok Home Loans, which is an innovative tech company offering the world's first instant home loan. In my spare time, I also run a full-service creative agency helping to design and update the marketing materials, websites, and marketing strategies of small and medium-sized businesses. I'd first off like to congratulate all of you on taking your first steps into university life. Seeing all these fresh faces here today is really great, and to see the campus so lively is really cool. It wasn't too long ago that I found myself walking this campus at the outset of my own university journey. I was 17 years old and fresh from high school, and I was really blown away, as I continue to be, by just the sheer beauty of this campus. We're really lucky to have such a fantastic location with so many open spaces, student amenities, and community events. So I really implore each of you to have a good look around, scope out the best study spots, and really lean into the campus and its lifestyle. One particular area of university life, which I wish I'd explored more during my time, would be the wide range of clubs that you can join. In fact, it wasn't until after I graduated that I actually joined the ski club and began participating in German club activities, because I felt that I really missed out on that part of the university experience. So my first piece of advice is to definitely join a club. From the Coffee Lovers Club to the Competitive Programming Club, there really is something out there for everybody. Now, some of you may be starting your studies with some uncertainty. Is this degree for me? What if I don't like it? I guarantee you these feelings are completely normal and absolutely more than common. Rest assured, if you feel like your questions need answers and you're really unsure where to turn, please visit the careers services located outside of Hub Central. They are fully equipped to help students navigate their career paths and to determine which areas of study and occupations may be best suited to your personal learning style. It was actually with the Careers Service I first had a major opportunity to explore the world of marketing. On a whim, I'd applied for an internship and was successful in securing a role undertaking marketing and design work. This opportunity taught me a significant amount about how the professional world operated and helped me to translate all the theory that I'd learned from my studies and apply it to real, practical situations. Through my internship, I was also introduced to my current mentor and now employer, who I'm fortunate enough to give credit to for helping me hone most of those professional and practical marketing skills. It was during this time at my internship with the Careers Service where I saw an excellent quote from Sheryl Sandberg about opportunity. She said, "If you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, get on. Don't ask which seat." It was less than a month later, actually, that I found myself taking this advice when I accepted my role at TikTok, which at the time was still a startup company who had only just launched into the market. I've continued to enjoy opportunity in this role. I've had the chance to write opinion pieces and press releases, to craft all types of digital content, to make hundreds of industry connections, to design amazing videos alongside prominent directors, and even write and produce television advertisements. Quite possibly the largest factor in having these opportunities was to simply say yes. I used to actively deny opportunity because I was afraid that I couldn't do it or that I'd probably fail. Learning to say yes and throwing myself into having a go at something really made a world of difference. Putting myself outside of my comfort zone really made me realize that I could do a lot more than I thought. And most importantly, I've learned and broadened my horizons far more than I could have imagined. So my advice to all new students is the same. Say yes more. Thank you.
Me again. This time I'll be talking to you from a student's perspective. So, like I said, I'm actually doing a similar degree to Olivia, so a double degree in law and health science. And now, having finished my health science degree last year, I'm technically an alumnus as well as a current student. So, I know that you've all come here to university to further your education. But honestly, personally, all I've been waiting for is that moment when I get to walk out of this hall, through those doors, with that big piece of paper, making my finishing of my program official. There is so much more to your university experience than just the degree itself. It's about the relationships that you will form with people who right now are complete and total strangers, but who at the end you probably won't be able to live without. It's about the life experiences that you will inevitably have. And tagging off of what Bailey said, if I can give you one piece of unsolicited advice, it'll be to say yes to as much as you can whilst you're at university. And just like all the students that spoke to you, that's all they did. Obviously, you have to be aware of your workload and you have to be aware of the things that you have already committed to. But saying yes will open yourself up to some of the most amazing experiences that will soon become some of your most cherished memories. This is exactly what happened to me when I said yes and applied to go on a study tour/an internship to Shanghai late last year. Although this is one of the most scariest things that I have ever done, having not travelled overseas without my family, it was one of the most incredible experiences that I have ever had. It was an opportunity where I learnt so much and really had experiences that I could only have imagined. Throwing yourself into another culture, a different culture, shows you that you're actually more open-minded than you might think, and that there's more to the world than just these four walls and the place that you call home. Through placement opportunities, I've had the chance to create relationships with mentors who have actually changed the trajectory of my future. So Pascal mentioned the fact that you will meet people who will literally change your life, and that is what's happened. You'll have the opportunity to do electives. You'll have the opportunity to do electives on campus as well as external electives. I know it sounds really scary trying to do something that you've never done before, but just do it. In that moment, you might feel like you have no idea what you're doing, but someone once told me, and this is like a professional lawyer, who said you just fake it till you make it, because even they honestly don't have a clue what they're doing until they start to research and look into exactly what it is that they're trying to help you with. Orientation week is the best way to familiarise yourself with all things uni. Make sure you try and make the most of it by coming in every day of the week if you can. Today will be incredible. Take the opportunity to get to know your hosts, so the people in the coloured shirts, and to get to know the groups that you've been put in. I wish you all the best of luck with this journey that you'll embark on today, and I have no doubt that it will be a fulfilling and exciting one. Thank you. So before we begin to conclude this session, I mentioned earlier how easy it is to win one of five $100 Visa gift cards just by wearing the new shirt that you would have all received this morning. When you head to the Maths Lawns for the Vice Chancellor talk at 12:30, all you need to do is wear your shirt and you're automatically in the draw to win. On your way down to the Maths Lawns, make sure you stop by the Student Expo, which is in the hub just down there, because you'll find a selection of stalls on things to do with campus life, where to go if you ever need academic help, where to go if you ever need more personal help, and of course, all the ways that you can make the most of all the opportunities that you will have here. If you find that you're pressed for time, trying to make sure you make it to the Maths Lawns by 12:30, don't stress, you can always head back to the Student Expo after, because all of the stalls will be there until 4 p.m. I really encourage you to take the opportunity to go and speak to the people there, just because it'll help you familiarise yourself with the campus, and a couple of the speakers today mentioned how important it is to make the most of all of the services that are available to you. Now, I know I've spoken a lot, but that's it from me. Now, to bring this morning's sessions to a close, I would love to invite up Alice to speak to you all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Now, just because I'm wrapping up, it doesn't mean I want to miss my opportunity to say welcome, congratulations, we're so pleased to have you here. I'm just wrapping up this session with a few serious words around the Safer Campus Community Initiative. Here at the University of Adelaide, we want everyone to have a rewarding, fun and safe experience at university, regardless of your age, gender, faith, nationality, sexuality or anything else about you. In order to achieve this though, we all have a role to play in making the environment safe. So that's all of you, staff, visitors, anyone that comes onto our campus. Over the past 18 months, the university has spent a lot of time improving our policies, systems and information that relate to student safety, in particular, sexual assault and sexual harassment. The university has zero tolerance for this kind of behaviour, and we're committed to reducing its incidence and taking action and providing support to students. We understand that university is a new environment for most of you, if not all of you, and it coincides with a number of other new things that might be happening in your life. Some of you might have moved from another country, you might have moved from another city, or even from a regional area into the city. You might have just moved out of home, you might have just turned 18, legal drinking age and starting to go out. Whatever the case is, you'll be meeting lots of new people, you'll be having lots of new experiences, and you'll certainly have a lot more independence than you're used to, especially from your parents and teachers. But that doesn't mean the rules go out the window or the support either. So there's a number of things that you can do to help yourself navigate this time and ensure you've got the right knowledge and resources to guide your decision making. And also to know where to turn to when things don't go to plan. So a few of the things that we would like you to clue yourselves up on during this time are things like inclusive and respectful behaviour, what that looks like, sexual respect and consent, which I'll talk a little bit more on later, bystander awareness and intervention. So you'll see posters around the university encouraging you to see it and stop it. Things like checking in with someone, distracting them, and letting us know if you see something occur on university campus or around the place that you're not comfortable with. There's campus safety and security services, so Tiana mentioned some of the services available like the security escort. There's phone numbers, there's emergency phones on campus, and we encourage you to save those numbers in your phone as well, so you've got them at easy access. We really want you to know and understand how to make a complaint or report, whether that be internal or external, and it can be anonymous or formal as well. So understanding those different avenues that are available to you and what happens when you make a report, how will it be followed up, who will know about it, and those sorts of things as well. The university relies on that system so that we can know what's going on. You're our eyes and ears on the ground here, and without us knowing what's going on, we can't help you solve a problem or address those situations. The final thing to know is where to seek support or counselling. So again, that can be internal here at the university. We've got the counselling service and other people that you can talk to about reporting options or grievances. And then we can also refer you to external services as well. So sometimes you might feel more comfortable with that, or it might be a specialist that you need to see, and we can definitely help refer you on to the right people. For more information on any of the topics I've talked about, we've got a whole website dedicated to Safer Campus Community. So I encourage you to go to that website. Otherwise, the easy way to get there is through the app. So on the UA Student app, which hopefully you've all downloaded so far, we've got 3 different topics around this. We've got an emergency assistance button there, which will take you through to all of the on-campus emergency numbers, as well as the police, fire, ambulance number. We've got a campus safety button, which takes you through to all of the information about the Safer Campus Community and through to that website for more information. And we've also got a not coping section, which provides more information around mental health and those sorts of services that are available here as well. There's also, as part of that website, a number of online training courses that are available, but there's one I would really like to highlight in particular. So if you're a new undergraduate bachelor student, in your My Uni module, you'll have access to a course called Consent Matters. So that's the place where all of the rest of your enrolled courses sit. There'll also be one there called Consent Matters. If it's not there already, it will be there soon for you. And it's really important that you complete that training. It takes under an hour. There's a small 10-question quiz at the end of it, but we'll keep reminding you till you complete it. So it's just there to give you some extra information and some extra tools about our expectations at the university. So my takeaway session from this is that the university is here to support you, regardless of something happening on campus, off campus, at a social event, on social media, wherever it might be. But I'd encourage you to familiarise yourself with those resources and make sure you ask for help when you need it. By knowing what's available to you, you might never need it yourself, but you might be able to help someone else. So that's all from me about Safer Campus Community. in terms of wrapping up this session, if you haven't already got yourself a group or aligned yourself with someone in one of the coloured t-shirts, we'd like you to do that after this session. So at the end of this, we'll all be heading out the doors on your left-hand side here, back out to the Goodman Crescent again. If you can all regroup to your flags, just so you can hop back in your assigned groups, and then you'll be off on the next part of your day, which is a bit of a campus tour. So good luck, welcome, and we'll see you down at the Vice-Chancellor's Welcome Maths Lawns, 12:30. Thank you.